Today's guest is someone very special to me. As y'all know, I suffered a deadly stroke years ago, and God put a few men in front of me. That's right, few men who I watched very carefully, who gave me inspiration and direction. And guess what? One of them was Alex Morton. I watched his energy, his mindset, his leadership, and now he's sitting across from me having this amazing conversation for the second time. That's right. Alex has been called the Millennial Tony Robbins. He's an incredible leader, speaker, author, entrepreneur, someone who has impacted people around the world and also impacted my life. Today, we're going to get into it, deep into success, mindset, leadership, manifestation, how to build an extraordinary life. Alex, my brother, welcome to Stroke Success. Let's go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy. I'm back here again. Number one podcast studio in Miami, Florida called The Move Miami. Number one for me, guys. Today, guys, is someone super special. If you know me and you follow me and you know if you're my personal friend, you know how much this person means to me. I came across his story about 8 years ago, living in South Florida, recovering from my stroke, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, go on my phone, and the depressed out of my brain, and I'm scrolling, and I came across his content, him, a few other gentlemen, but this individual was the one who really showed me a way to change my life, to come out of depression, through manifestation, through prayer, to God, all that. Welcome, my friend, my guest, Alex Morton. What's up, my man?
Happy to be here, and like we were saying before, congratulations on everything you're doing. I see you going everywhere. You're on the feeds, you're on this, you're on that. Your business is booming, so congrats, man. And
thank you, Alex.
When you say that to me, it reminds me yet again, even 17 years later, like why it's important to keep going, no matter any material successes. Like the real fulfillment and purpose, it's just what you just said. It's helping people.
Helping people. Yeah. End of the day, right? Brother, your manifestation teachings, you talking about God and being Jewish, Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter. You always talked about just believing in something bigger than yourself. And that is not very common in today's world. If you're Jewish, you talk about Jewish only. If you're Muslim, you don't talk about Muslim only. I follow your suit. I used to talk about God, right? You say Inshallah, or you can say Mazel Tov, you can say
yeah.
Whatever,
I say them
right?
all. I say them all.
Me too. You're married to a Muslim.
Yeah, well, she was raised in that world, and I was raised over here in Reform Judaism, and it's crazy, right? Because the Gaza stuff that happened and currently happening, and a lot of people actually were they separated, and there was definitely divorces because of this conflict. But by the grace of God, right? God, we my wife and I we believe in the same thing, and that's we believe in a creator. We believe in God, and I have friends from every religion, man. Like my speaking event, 76 countries. So I have like dear friends that pray 5 times a day in Cairo, Egypt, and London, UK. I have dear friends that are Mormon, and I'm not even sure exactly what they believe in, right? But I know there's some crazy stuff out there with like if you do really good, you get your own planet, and that's amazing. Like my thing at 36 years old is people can believe whatever they want to believe. But for me, at a personal level, it's just been difficult for me to say this group is right and these other 6 or 7 billion are wrong. Because I've had deep discussions about religion with my Christian friends that, they're all in, right? Like they're all in. And when I sit down with anybody from any of these different religions and I give them their 35, 40 minutes, you could buy into what it is they're saying. But for me personally, I believe in God. I pray every day. I believe in gratitude. I believe in karma. I believe just doing right. And I don't think I'm going to go burn in hell or eternal damnation because I don't accept this as the ultimate truth. That's just me.
Amen, brother. By the way, I'm going off track for a second. You're a good-looking guy.
Appreciate it, man.
We had a beautiful wife. Mashallah, make a beautiful couple.
Thank you.
Before her, you live in Miami. You did really well. Mm-hmm. What was your like lifestyle with women, like a rock star? Miami, this is like 8 years. You got married for like 5 years now? Or 4 years?
Yeah, we started dating October 2019 and then got married August 18th, 2020.
So pre-2019.
Yeah.
Would you be again driving the Bentley, the Rosie you had? I remember with Matt Gerby. I remember those days really well.
Yeah.
You
The
had
Entourage lifestyle deal,
Dar man. He's awesome. I love Dar man.
He flies in tomorrow.
Exactly. Say hi to him. I remember those videos. I was like, coming up in my world. How crazy was it? A lot of girls coming, going out, partying.
Yeah, I mean, Miami was the home base, but I was really traveling
all the time.
All the time. Like, you can look back on like different tour flyers that I had. I mean, you're talking about Barcelona, Madrid,
yes.
Lisbon, Stockholm. I mean, you're talking about 15 countries in 18 days in front of thousands and thousands of people, building different businesses. So I don't know. I mean, there's definitely some stuff that I may not be proud over, right, in my past life. But I was young. I was in my 20s. And the challenge is when when I was 21, 22, my face was on the side of the Phoenix Suns basketball arena at 22 years old, right? My face was in, magazines, and I'm earning X, and then it turns into X, and then it turns into X, and then the company gives you a BMW 3 Series, and then it was a 6 Series, and then obviously at some point it turned into a Rolls Royce, right? And you start to really believe in your own hype, and that's one of the things that I teach people is, just because you have, quote, a lot of money, it doesn't, number one, make you a better person than somebody else. And number two, don't use that clout or fame or money to do, reckless things, right? So yeah, there was definitely a season of my life where it was maybe a bit reckless, right? With girls and traveling in different things. And I have a story, and I remember this like it was, not yesterday, but maybe like last week. I was in Lima, Peru. I walked off stage. I was sharing a room with my cousin, Case. And I'm making, and this is all past, so we're not making income claims, lifestyle guarantees, none of these things, right?
Disclaimer.
But I'm earning, north of $100,000 per week, right? And I just spoke in front of thousands of people. I took selfies for an hour. Everyone's telling me how great I am and all these different things. And I'm literally in the shower after the event, and I'm like in tears. And I remember it. I remember the shower curtain, and I'm crying, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm literally peaking professionally. I'm peaking in every area you can let your imagination. I'm peaking in all these different things, and I'm standing here, and I'm like, I've never been depressed, I don't think, but I was like feeling, and it was this emptiness, right? And I was longing for like a real connection. I was longing for a person. I was longing for a partner, a wife type of thing, So yeah, when I was in my 20s doing my thing, going to the clubs, spending money I should have put into condos, and being a lunatic. But I will say this, never got into drugs, never, not once. Like cocaine, like a lot of people like, oh, I'll try cocaine. I've never done cocaine, like on my mother. Amazing. I've never done cocaine.
Amazing.
Drinking, sure, some tequila here and there, some red wine here and there, but I was never addicted to alcohol. Never was addicted to gambling. Never did anything, malice to other people. But, the girls thing was present for sure, as it would be for anyone, single heterosexual male.
So my audience here, I don't know how young or old you are. So back in the early 2000s, a show called Entourage. Vinny Chase, I love this show. I mean, anyone who wants to be something was. And I remember I used to look at Alex like Vinny Chase. He was on the move, right? Private jet, The Boys, The Entourage, and
it was. I saw that show, I think in 7th grade. And I got so many stories, man.
Yeah.
Bexley, Ohio. I'm driving my dad's 98 Ford Expedition. And I go to my buddy Taylor Van Lanningham's house. And it's me, my buddy David, Ellis, Howie, Taylor, Ian. We're all watching Entourage. That moment was actually one of the defining moments in my young entrepreneurial career where I said, I don't know what that is, but traveling around the world, flying around the world with your best buddies, having fun, living life. I remember driving home that night after it premiered on HBO. Rain was coming down the front windshield of the 1998 maroon Ford Expedition. And I'm telling you, man, I just felt like a tingling sensation in my body. I'm like, that's the life I'm going to live. I didn't know it was going to be direct sales. I didn't know if it was going to be real estate. I didn't know what it was going to be. But in that moment in time, I'm like, we're going there.
You're going
We're
there.
doing that.
Declared it.
That's it.
Declaration. Which goes to my next topic. I'm getting goosebumps. My man, you talk about manifestation. You should write a book about manifestation. They actually owe you something. The Secret Movement. By the way, you had one of your closest friend, and God bless his soul, Bob Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to him in a second. I'm all over the place. you have done so much for manifestation. Let's get into that. Was that the first time, without even knowing, you're practicing manifestation? The Entourage movement, and you're studying it and you're feeling it?
Yeah, I would say so, because it's all about, like they say, what's the secret? The secret is feeling,
The feeling.
right? And this is something I've never actually talked about, but my parents would attest to this. 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, I guess I'm like a weirder kid. I would be in our house in Bexley, Ohio, and I remember myself doing this, and now looking back, 25 years later, I was kind of like, okay, I get it. I would go in my room, I would close my door, little room, like it was my room, a wall, my sister's room, another wall, my grandma's room, a bathroom with 2 sinks and a toilet, and Maddie, myself, and my grandma shared this bathroom. And we grew up good. I'm not complaining about the way we grew up. It was amazing. Best family I could ever dream of and ask for, right? But I would go in my room, and I had like a boom box, the boom boxes, and I'd have CDs, put the CD in, turn the boom box on, and I would like pace around my room. And I don't know if I was imagining myself as a singer or a rapper. Maybe I was imagining myself like Tony Robbins, but I was practicing, right, through that activity. I was triggering, frequencies into the universe of this idea of being in front of a lot of people, becoming, a success. And like I was doing it even in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. I didn't know what I was doing, but you know what it was? It was my imagination. One of the most important higher faculties that we have. I was imagining a better life. So the whole manifestation thing, I don't know if I even heard that word until I was maybe 18 or 19 or 20. But doing that in my room, I'd be presently in Columbus, Ohio, but I would be somewhere else spiritually and mentally, right? And then the whole Entourage thing happened, and I'm like, okay, I'm envisioning myself doing that. And then when I was in high school, all the time I'd be looking outside the window, and the teachers would always say, pay attention, pay attention. Parent-teacher conferences, your son doesn't pay attention. He's staring out the window. There was a point in time where they tried to tell my parents to medicate me. And I remember my parents were like, our son doesn't have a learning problem. He's just not interested in what you're talking about. Algebra teacher, right? With all due respect to algebra teachers, I was physically there, but I was mentally somewhere else. And now I think back 25 years in the future, I look back on that, I was imagining a better life, like a life that I wanted to live, even though it was a life that was never realistic to anybody around me growing up. But I said that I'm going to end up here. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but this is what Bob taught me. He said, listen, you don't have to know how. You just have to know. And I knew 5th grade on, I just knew it. I knew where I was going to end up, regardless.
Without the how. Right? Bob always said that, right? Don't worry about the how. Know what you want to do and put it out there.
That's what it was. Because I was a very, what's the word? I asked a lot of questions growing up. I still ask a lot of questions today. Like I have no pride. Like when I meet somebody and I know maybe they're up here and I want to learn, I have no issue asking, hey man, help me or teach me or, something like that, right? Like I don't care to ask for help or pick people's brains. I do that all the time as much as I can, but I was curious, that's the word. I was a curious kid. Like I was curious as to how some kids were dropped off at school in Range Rovers and big Mercedes-Benzes. Back then, like the brand new like Mercedes-Benz SUV was a big deal, like in 2005 or 6, right? And I would wonder why some of these kids would go home and they had, a 7,000 square foot home in North Bexley. We were in Central Bexley in a great house as well, but it wasn't that house. It wasn't a pool. Like there was a kid with a tennis court. And I was like, yo, I want a tennis court in my backyard one day. What do these people do? What do they talk about, right? And then you had South Bexley where it was more of a painful financial situation. So I was curious to be like, how do you end up like level 1, level 2, level 3? What's the thinking? What's the raising? What's the action? What's the behaviors? What's the persistency? Like, what do you have to do to end up in these categories? I was very, very committed to finding out how to end up here. And I'm not just talking about money, especially not at 36 years old. I'm talking about the full spectrum of life, living a purpose-driven, fulfilled, impacting life. How do you end up here, and why do some people end up down here?
Have you seen a lot of people in your journey What's been 20 years on the run right now, bro?
It'll be 18 years in direct sales, and I got into real estate.
I remember that. Rentals, right?
3 years ago. Okay. Or no, three years prior to. So yeah, 20 years as
20 years.
no job entrepreneur.
Right.
Yeah.
No 9 to 5, not checking that. Yeah. 20-year run you've had so far. Have you seen people come up and lose it to drugs, ego, gambling, cheating, this and that?
Yeah, every day. Every day. I mean, I'm not going to talk about people or say names, but people in my industry.
They come up right in front of you. Like,
yeah, but ex mentors of mine at one point, not mentors, but people that I learned things from.
Sure.
Right. They got to X amount per month and their head got big, and now they're sleeping with their wife, and they're sleeping with all these other people, and they're sleeping with people in the team, and they're doing drugs at a convention with team members, and then they're just out of the industry, 5, 6, 7, 8 years later because their credibility's gone. I've seen crazy stuff. Yeah. A lot of stuff I would never talk about on the podcast, but
of course
there are, and I attribute me staying calm, cool, collective, even through turmoil situations, to my parents.
I was going to say that.
My biggest cheat code in life is mom and dad, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm 5'9". I was okay at sports. I'm playing a lot of golf now. I would say I'm below average at golf. Like I wasn't born with, all these great things that I'm just excelling more than everybody else. I was in slow math for 4 years in high school. I got rejected from every college I applied to, except for Arizona State. But the upbringing I had, man, like I would put it against, the Trumps, the Obamas. I don't care. What my mom and dad did for me and my little sister, whatever they did, it turned out good.
Yeah. I want to have on the podcast. I want to interview your mom and dad. Coming back to them. We talked about them a little bit last time, and I see them on social media. Beautiful mom and dad you have. Brother, I think that a person like myself, sitting right across you, I come from a broken household, single mom raised me, and the shit and the trauma I have to go through, I still pay for it, man. I still do. And I work extra hard for my daughters, never to go through that. And I love my wife even extra in front of my kids to see what love is. I think, if you were to ask me, KB, you're 44, what do you think? I think that those people like you had no need to numbing themselves with cocaine and marijuana and all these hardcore drugs and do some stuff. I think that's what it is. I think you had a good, unified household.
It was the foundation.
I mean,
even in my first company, where back then it was big money. I remember my biggest month in that first company was 107, which that's a ton of money. I don't care what time period you're in.
Let's break it down.
$107,000 in commissions for the month, right? And I remember my dad, he said something like, hey, I saw what came in, congrats, it's amazing. And then he said something to me like, keep going, don't get comfortable.
Love it.
And that's just, and it's not because, more money. No. And now that I'm 36, I realize I'm a very simple guy. I really am. Like, people may see different things on YouTube or this or that. I have a couple nice watches and stuff, but man, I don't need that. I really don't need that much, right? Like, I need to pay the bills, take a couple cool trips a year, hang out with the family, golf, eat well, have enough money to someone to clean the house, because I don't want my wife scrubbing dishes and doing, touching sweaty workout shirts. But it's like, I don't need, I'm not one of those guys like, I need to be a billionaire. It's like, okay, that's great for you. You
don't need that.
I don't need that, right? But the parenting was the foundation. And then my mom always talked about, it's not what you make, it's what you save and what you have. And that always stuck in my mind too. There was a point in time in the last half a decade where I could have, lost it. I could have, with the amount of everything going on and happening, I could have easily, a half a dozen supercars, a half a dozen mansions. Obviously you don't need a lot of money for just to be a degenerate with, drugs and different things, but I just never, it never hit me to go do any of those things, right? Because I think I still remember all of the lessons and the morals and the values and the integrity. I'm not judging people either. Like, people that do drugs, God bless. Awesome. God bless, right? I don't care. But for me, like, there's certain things, like being a married man, growing up, I really thought people were just faithful. I thought that. And then I got older And I've seen a lot of things now at 36, and it has blown my mind. The level of just disintegrity, I guess is the term. And like for me, it's not even about like, it wouldn't even be, it is about my wife, but it's not, it'd be more about me. Like I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to go against what I believe, because I'm the one that has to go. I sleep at home in the bed. I wake up, I see myself in the mirror, you know? And I think about this a lot too. At the end of the life, right? We come into this world alone, and we also leave
Alone.
And I believe in karma. I believe in karmic debts. I believe that if you are a POS on this run, this timeline of existence for you, I don't know if we come back and we pay for it. I don't know if we go somewhere else and pay for it, but I believe in my heart.
You didn't pay for it.
It comes back. Like Bob always told me, whatever you throw into the wind, man, it's coming right back. So you better make sure it's good stuff.
Speaking of him, I meet people now who have trained with them, and now they do coaching and mentoring. You probably know these people as well. Talk about him. I'll tell you my perspective. I never got the opportunity to meet him. I would love the opportunity to even sit down and talk to him, let alone interview him. But I always saw him as a peaceful grandfather, like a father, right? How'd you meet him? How'd you first interact with him? How'd that go?
So in our first company, I'm 21. The day I actually met Bob, there's actually a video on YouTube. If you type in Young Crusaders, Alex Morton, you'll see this video of me, the owner, and this other guy. And the owner, the headquarters was in Scottsdale, Arizona. I was going to Arizona State, and the owner called me, "Hey man, what are you doing this afternoon?" And I was like, "Working. What's going on?" He goes, I want you to fly with me private. I think it was to Raleigh, North Carolina. So I'm freaking, the first time I've ever been on a private jet, right? I'm losing my mind. So we do that whole thing, and I go to Raleigh, North Carolina, and he says, "I'm going to put you on stage, and I want you just to share your story." I'm making like $500 a month. Like this isn't like, whoa, but I was young. I could speak. I was excited. And he's like, "I'm going to use this kid's story to build the business," which was a very smart move. So I do that. I speak on stage for 10 minutes, right? Share my story. I don't know what I said. It doesn't matter. And then after I get off the stage, I'm in the hallway at the hotel ballroom. And then this man is like gliding towards me with like white hair and a suit. No clue who Bob Proctor is. Okay. I don't know him from the Milkman. And he looked at me and he just stared at my soul for like 7 seconds. And then he said something along the lines of, "You're going to go very far in this business if you stay persistent or don't quit," something along those lines. And I was thinking like, cool, man, thanks. Nice to meet you. I go back into the ballroom, and then the voice of God, the VOG MC, he does like a 15-minute edification on this next speaker. And then everyone, he gets up and gives a standing ovation for like 15 minutes. And it's Bob Proctor. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And then we met, we had a deeper conversation, and I got very lucky. His wife was in my first company in Toronto, Canada. And his wife had a young team. I was the young guy, right? And he said, "If you work with my wife's young team, I'll coach you." And eventually it turned into, "I'll coach you for free." So I was able to attend events. I went to this Matrix event. It was like $15,000 or $25,000 a person. If you wanted to bring your wife, it was another, And I remember he said he was doing this one event like once a year in Hawaii. And I don't know if these people were paying him $1 million a year or it was something insane. But he was telling me about he had like a waiting list of people like willing to pay him an exuberant amount of money for one-on-one coaching. And I was getting this for essentially free, right? And he challenged me to write my first book. Dorm Room to Millionaire was actually at the Matrix event. He didn't tell me about this. He brought me up in front of the whole room, and he put a book cover on the projector screen. And he said, "Write your first book. And I want you to tell everybody in the room you're going to do it. So then you have to do it." So he was harder on me, but it's because he saw something. He saw the potential, right? He saw, and then when it was all said and done, and this is where it gets a little bit sad, but now it's okay and it's happy and it's blissful. We were planning an event. I still have the text messages in my phone. We didn't have the title yet. He was in Vegas looking at venues. And I remember one title he had was like, the mentor and the millionaire. And I told him, no, we can't say the word millionaire. It's not compliant. And we were going back and forth. And Bob and I were going to do an event together and do this whole program together because he called me one of his best students, which I would argue, no ego, but yeah.
I think you, yes, I would say the same.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, 100%.
And when he passed away during COVID, that's where Break the Code, the event I held in 2022 or 2023,
Yes.
spun into. Because I said, okay, well, if I'm not going to do it with Bob, then I'm going to get people that I consider mentors there. You know, Ed Milet, Grant Cardone, Rob Dyrdek. I'm going to do my own event. And even though I lost money on the event, I don't care. It was an amazing, amazing experience. And I'll probably do another one. Took a lot of time and effort, $1 million.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
I admire that.
So Bob was the best. And Bob was the best.
Like, you probably have a lot of footage in your phone.
Dar
had a
has
lot.
the secret files. Yep, the Proctor the Proctor files. We talked about a documentary one. He wants me, and I said, dude, I haven't done enough yet for a documentary. Let's keep going.
You should, man.
At some point.
How about another book, homie?
Yeah, well, we have Dormant's a Millionaire.
Bestseller.
And then
by
we
the
had
way.
The Secret to Knowing It's Already Done. And we didn't do like a big launch on that one. But that one was written post a lot of success. And it's out there. The Secret to Knowing It's Already Done. But there'll be a third. I kind of want to write one with all my parents, to be honest. Yeah. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, inshallah. But also, Brock Proctor was a big part of your life. There was a video I made. Our intro for last time, it was amazing. I loved it. They called him the Tony Robbins of the Millennial. You ever met Tony Robbins?
We shared the stage once, maybe twice, at Eric Worre's GoPro Recruiting Mastery event.
Yep.
I've never shaken his hand, though. I almost joined the Platinum Partnership thing. One of my good friends is in that. Never did. I've never shaken his hand, but man, I've studied, I don't know, countless hours of Tony Robbins material.
How does it make you feel when people refer you to call you the next Tony Robbins, the Millennial?
I've learned to not get too high on compliments, and I've learned to not get too low on, negative, right? Because when you go out into the world and you make a dent, you're going to get fans and lovers and, oh my God, Alex is the best. And then you're also going to get, people saying the worst of the worst things about you, right? So it makes me feel good, sure. It does. I mean, just to be in the same sentence as Bob Proctor or any of these, people, right? But I also look at it as a responsibility to pass on all of these things that I've learned and actually applied and gotten results. Because, the guru sector is just insane, right? And Tony actually talks about this. He's like, it's like the worst thing that's ever happened in this space, because now anybody with a phone can make a couple of videos and sell a program or a course and like fraud people, like rent the car, rent the girls, rent the yacht, and all this kind of stuff. So I just feel my place in the whole spectrum of everything is, hey, anything that comes out of my mouth is what I did. It's not what I read. It's not what I learned from Billy over here. These are things that I learned and I actually applied and got a tangible result. So I know it and they work because they've worked for me and they've worked for a plethora, hundreds, if not thousands of other people in all these different industries as well. That's a whole nother thing, man. Like my first company, we had this young people revolution and it didn't end so well, right? The government and, oh my gosh, you can't say this, you can't do that, whatever. But if I had I could give you a list of names of people that were young guys that were in that company that never made any money or they made a little bit of money. And now today they are running the biggest marketing agencies in the country. They are running the #1 roofing company in the country. Pace Morby's like right-hand guy. Cody Barton's his name.
I know Cody Barton.
I mean, I give you the biggest list on earth, and it's like, and they all would get on the phone with me and say, dude, I learned, like, that was the start. All the top life insurance people, and I can name some. We're all homies and friends. They were all in the first company. That's where they got introduced to personal development, public speaking, mastering communication, attitude, persistence, discipline. I mean, I could give a list of 100 people that their lives are forever changed. And then they went out, the ripple effect, they have hundreds of employees or they have teams of tens of thousands of people in life insurance, right? So the ripple effect of just personal self-development, it's unbelievable. So I know there's a calling on me to even some days where I'm like, why am I making a video? Why am I doing a podcast? And I have some people in my life, they're like, why? You know, even this new company that I'm a part of, people are like, they're like, dude,
Why?
For what? For who? And I've given that thought as well. Right? I used to give a lot of, I guess, credit to this word of legacy, and I do. But now, instead of thinking of legacy as, oh, how much money you can make and da-da-da-da, I think more of it is like, you know, family and children and impact and morals and values and teachings. Because like Hormozi says, and I agree with him, and not everyone agrees with me with this, and that's totally fine. Hormozi said, 4 generations from right now, nobody will even know you existed. So when people like do this whole legacy thing, like to me, that's, again, I don't judge. Do whatever you want to do. But I feel like I see it in my own world. You know, I'm never going to be the guy that sacrifices like the actual important things for just more material possessions.
You think there's a limit to material possessions?
Depends who you ask. I mean, people have 500-foot boats. You know, in the building I live in Sunny Isles, there's individuals with, I don't know,
Fuck your money.
$8 million in cars downstairs.
F your money.
Some of them are the nicest guys ever, and some of them, you know, treat the valet guys, you know, like shit. I mean, it's money just magnifies who you are. I don't throw shade at anyone. If you want 15 cars, dude, go get your 15 cars.
Do
man.
you, bro?
It's like whatever makes you happy. Like this new thing that I'm thinking about is whatever people do, it's like, that's okay for him, for her. Like I really do. I do my best to not judge. This is what really just triggers me is lazy people that then complain. Lazy people that are just not complaining and they're happy and they're cool and they're chilling. They want to play video games, smoke pot all day, do your thing.
God
Dude, awesome. Like you won.
You're happy doing that.
You won.
Yeah.
Amazing. But to sleep in, to smoke pot, to get drunk, to not get to where you want to be, and then bitch, moan, complain, demonize rich people, that's where I'm like, that's not it. Like that's not it.
I was talking to my nephew. He was over last week for a program. And I was on a call with Eric Spofford.
I know Eric, yeah.
Amazing individual.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet him real soon. So I'm going to call with him, mastermind call. He listened to me, call, and Eric talks about them like, guys, all you really need is $2 million. And you don't after $2 million a year, you don't have to look at the price tag or anything, the minimum. And after that, he goes like, you get bored. A lot of people do get bored. Like his life, he's got a jet, you got the cars, the houses. I don't know, man. I just think like, before I started Newer Med Spa and Wellness, I wanted to live this lifestyle of a rock star. As I'm getting older, you start to think what's important. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I love the Amiris, the Dior's for my wife. I bought my wife a beautiful watch of the day. It makes me so happy to do that for her. My kid's going to have an amazing summer vacation. Mom's a doctor, worked hard. Dad's an entrepreneur. But how many cars can I get in the driveway, brother? How big? 5,000, 7,000, 10,000? My boy, I get a rolling. My boy comes with a hoop. It never stops, right? It never stops. I get a Ferrari. My boy Alex gets a Lambo. We're in a rat race competition. So I tell young people, I'm a speaker now, and I tell young people, do you, but do it for yourself. Don't get an Amiri shirt to impress Alex Morton or a Dior shirt to impress him with the rollie, because he's not going to get impressed. He may get impressed for 2 seconds. He's going to be on to his beautiful wife and sunset. Yeah. And you'll be set with that bill.
Yeah, and that's the truth. I mean, and I say this because I believe this is the truth. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
And I've learned on the wins, nobody cares. It's like they make fun of you when you try and you're broke. And that was me. I was trying and trying and trying. I had no money. People talk shit. You're never going to make it. You're an idiot. You're a dumbass. It's a scam, blah, blah, blah. And then if and when you do make it, oh, he got lucky.
Got lucky.
He got lucky. He's a scammer. It's like, So the stuff, absolutely don't buy things to impress other people because nobody cares. Not even your own family. It's like, okay, cool, right? Like, awesome. On the wins, awesome, man. But everyone's thinking about, what's in it for me? How can I benefit from this relationship? What can I get? What can I get? What can I get? And then when times get tough, it's very interesting who calls. Pretty much nobody calls. Nobody checks in.
No.
I went through a hard thing last year. One of the harder things, career-wise, dealing with things I've never, dealt with before. And at the end of the day, loving wife, loving mom, loving dad, supportive family, but I had to deal with it. I had to go sit down with people, government people, and figure out what was going on. Mommy, daddy, no one's in the room with me. It's Alex. It's Alex, and it's lawyers, and it's figuring it out. So it's like after that experience, I don't know. I'm not saying I lost empathy. But for me, I feel empathy for women and children, right? I'm not from a single mom parent, but like I think single moms, I am empathetic towards single women because now I'm seeing how hard it is and how much time and commitment, energy it takes to raise a kid, and seeing my cousin have a kid and seeing it's a full-time thing. Even if you have two nannies, I mean, you're still the dad. You're still the mom. The little girl wants mom, right? So I have an empathetic. I have a place I have a soft spot for women and kids, and then I have a soft spot for people that are going through actual problems. Like I saw a video last night, I almost started crying. It was just on my feed. I'm just scrolling, watching the USA, who won, by the way, beat Paraguay 4-1. I'm a soccer fan every 4 years, and it's like this kid in Gaza, and like this arm was gone, and then his left knee down was gone, and like it was a caption that said like I'll never stop playing. And it was like rubble and bombings and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, that's a reality for people. And I'm sitting here, looking at an ocean view, and I'm going to have to me, like not being grateful and even like happy. I know happiness is fleeting, but not having joy. Like I at this stage at 36, I feel like I'm spitting in my creator space. God, whether it's, Jesus for some people, Muhammad, whatever, Torah, awesome. It's all great, amazing stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to be angry today because I called for my car and the poor guy downstairs is getting blown up to bring down all the vehicles to valet. And he forgot to call in my car. And I'm going to have to stand here with my coffee for 8 extra minutes. And I'm going to allow that to somehow evoke an anger emotion in me. Like, dude, I should have Mike Tyson come knock the wind out of me, like hit me in the stomach, dude. Like, wake up. I forgot the question, but
where is going? Take advantage.
Yeah, it's like
happiness
perspective, right?
Perspective.
Like, and I catch myself. We all do, and this is the thing that I found out: rich or poor, they all have problems. Rich and poor, they all have challenges. Like, everyone has life happening. Like, where I live, I'm like middle class. So I hear different things. I'm in the sauna talking to men that are older than me that, quote unquote, have more material stuff than me. And they're, complaining about the kids and the wife and the nanny and their business partner. And this, I got to handle this, I got to handle that. And it's like so much stress. And it's like, you're worth $290 million. Like, you shouldn't even have this level of like stress and anxiety and all these different things. But it's like, no matter where you are in life, you're going to have challenges with friends, with family, with partner, with, I don't have kids yet, but it's like, you're always going to have these things going on. So it's so important for me. And like, when I talk on podcasts or create videos, I'm talking to the people in the world, but I'm really talking to myself. Like, I'm speaking, but I'm really giving myself advice and reminding myself important things. Like, you're not allowed to feel these emotions because you're not in a place where people are trying to murder you. Or I think about I posted my grandparents on my Instagram 2 days ago. I think about it all the time. And I like slap myself in the face. I'm like, dude, wake up. Oh, you're upset? You're upset. Like, you're a piece of shit. Like, your grandparents had to escape a genocide. You know what? Look up the word genocide in the dictionary, ding dong. And then I come back and I'm like, dude, you're right. Breathe.
Breathe.
And at the end of the day, again, 4 generations from now, no one will know our names. So it's like, try to have joy. Try to experience happiness, even though it's fleeting. And don't let a level 2 problem challenge create a level 10 cortisol spike in you, because it's just not, I don't know. I just think a lot about my family lineage in the world, right? Like Iran right now, like that would be challenging, not the stuff we deal with over here.
Oh, man. What a rip that was, man. It's like when you see these rock concerts, the rock stars goes to the guitar off the thing. Everyone's like, just let him go, let him just go do that. That was that moment from me. Michael Jackson, bro, just going and dancing the way he did. Man, you were so right, man. And I'm so guilty of it myself. My wife comes back to me. We'll have an issue in something, in the business or whatever. And she's like, babe, you 8 years ago in front of me you had a ventilator in your mouth. And I had our second baby, Iman, in my belly, and Isa, first one, running around saying, "Where's daddy?" And you were fighting for your life. And I'm thinking to myself that I may have to raise these kids without him.
Wow.
Right? And people say, man, you're a hero, KB. You're the man. No. My wife is a hero. She stood there with all that on her shoulders while I'm sleeping. And she goes, babe, when you woke up, the doctor said you can't talk or walk. And I couldn't. And then losing your job, depression. You outdid that. So this business thing here, it should be okay for you. Man, look, they call them rich people problems, right? The phrase about that. Alex, man, have you seen the Michael Jackson movie?
I haven't.
Okay.
15 people have told me, dude, you're gonna be ready to run through a wall.
It's your movie.
Yeah.
I thought about you a lot because you see Michael go in the first time he's singing a song in the studio. He's doing affirmations, close his eyes.
Wow.
He had vision boards. He had all these things there. His father was a big part of who he became. I often hear you talk about both your mom and dad, but your father, I think, was a big part of the whole check thing coming in the mail. Like, was your dad there early on in the meetings and with you sitting there? But he's in his own way an entrepreneur. Was he there as a coach for you?
It started off very young. I can still see it. I can see myself, Bexley, Ohio, eating cereal, watching Saved by the Bell on TV at 7:05 a.m. because that was the routine. My mom would wake us up, go downstairs, eat breakfast, go upstairs, brush your teeth, put your clothes on. I'm taking you to school. And I just have these like visions of my dad just leaving the house between like 7 and 7:30 in the morning. And back then it was like a white dress shirt or a blue dress shirt, tie, jacket, driving to work. So I just, as a young boy, when you see your father working 6 to 7 days a week, and then on Sundays they would take us to Sunday school and they would go to the office from 9 to 12, right? So it started then just seeing, and this is why it's so important, like to have the role models, right? So like seeing my dad, because of the way he was, like to me, even today, it's like working hard it's normal. It's an expectation. Like, what do you mean you don't work 6 days a week? Like, what's wrong with you? Are you disabled? Like, what's wrong? Like, what do you do? Like, what are we talking about here? So I saw that at a young age. And then, he helped me a lot. He gave me Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't know, 4th grade. I got into the Tony Robbins audio tapes at a very young age. I think and Grow Rich was in there at some point. He gave me, it's funny because he's the president now, which we don't get into, but Donald Trump wrote a book called Think Big and Kick Ass. My dad gave me that book when I was probably in middle school. It's funny, so because of those influences, right? I was the kid in chemistry class with a chemistry book, and then inside the chemistry book, I was reading business books. This is real. Like, I'm not just talking shit. Like, this is what I was doing. I was sent in the hall. I was sent in the hall in Miss Blanchard's classroom, chemistry or biology, because I was reading business books inside my textbook because I didn't care about chemistry. I just didn't give a shit. Right or wrong, don't care, right? So I saw that at a young age, and then throughout my journey, he just always supported me. And I got in trouble in college. That was like the height of the degeneracy, if that's the right word. I'm 18. I got kicked out of the dorms. Knock on a Sunday morning. Two police officers, Tempe police. They kicked me out of my own dorm, and they said if you don't vacate, real story, if you don't vacate the premise in 48 hours, we're arresting you for trespassing, because I got so drunk. I'm 18, 19-year-old kid. I was yelling at the RAs, and I told one guy, I guess he like took all my alcohol out, and I guess I yelled, it was like on the file, I hope God punishes you. I said that, blacked out, threw up everywhere.
You're a baby, bro.
Yeah, I'm 18 years old.
Dude.
But then I would talk to my dad, and he would just be like, because there were thoughts about leaving school, like when I was getting into real estate, go for it. It's always been go for it. That's the biggest thing from my dad. I've learned so much about from my dad, but like, it was always go for it. I'm looking at this network marketing thing, go for it, right? And then there was a point where I started making a little bit of money. He also checked me because I was like, Dad, I'm like, if I go all in on this business, I think I can get this thing to like 5, 8, 10 grand a month. And he said, listen, you have to stay in school, make your mom happy, but go for it. Like, do the bare minimum, but get your stupid degree, make your mom happy, but go for it. So like my whole career's always been go for it. A lot of also conservative financial principles, thank God, right? Because I had a lot of counterparts make way less money than me. Blow it all. I mean, blow it all. $20,000 bar tabs at Story, Miami. I don't think Story's there anymore, but
It used
like,
to be.
just think about Live.
Yeah, yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's like my dad, a little bit probably has to do with the fact, the whole Jewish upbringing, which is a stereotype, but it's true. Whatever.
It's
okay?
it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's great. It was always, life insurance policies, invest, don't spend more than you make, live beneath your means, Like that's like programmed subconscious. Live beneath your means, right? So, yeah, I mean, I had a personal life mentor, and to this day, I mean, he's helped me a lot with taxes and this, doing all the stuff that I don't want to do and I don't know how to do.
You give to him.
He helps, he does his thing. But it's been massive, that's why like people say, well, like unfair advantage. Like I would say again, like my parents didn't have Bentleys and Bugattis, and we didn't have the 10,000 square foot home, but I definitely got like the cheat code to a lot of this world, and I feel for other guys. Like I have close friends of mine that maybe their dad passed away at a young age, or their dad was not a good example, right? Like maybe there's a lot of kids that saw things at a young age,
Abuse, man.
Beating their mom, or like
addiction
and, cheating and just crazy shit. And like that has to really not be a positive impact on a kid, So I'm very grateful. And that's why I always said, in my marriage, it's like, I operate a certain way because I just refuse to not keep up that standard. And I also watched my grandfather, my dad's side, Papa and Gammy, we called them. Papa passed away. Gammy's 92, works out every day.
God bless.
Nuts. I mean, insane.
Your dad's side?
My dad's side. And they were married, 65 years and stuff. And like, I'm not saying divorce is bad at all. I'm just saying like, it's just holding a certain standard on like family. Like I'm gonna fly to Vegas on Sunday to be there for Father's Day. Like I'm making it a point to not miss those things anymore, because now I don't have any excuse. Like back in the day, it's like, I remember like on Mother's Day one year, I was literally in Lagos, Nigeria in front of 5,000 people. Like now it's like, now you're just full of, like be there for important things. Cause those are the things that are important, man. And maybe it takes time to get to your mid-30s to really, or maybe take it to your 40s, right? I don't know. Everyone has a different timeline, but today, like I'm not driven by, like I haven't bought a watch in a very long time. I like them. It's cool. They sit in the safe most of the time because it's like you should be scared to wear them in a lot of cities now. But the material stuff doesn't drive me anymore.
In life, we go through ups and downs. One day we're a rock star, other day we're getting kicked in the cojones. We come up, we go again. Again, Michael Jackson went through his ups and downs. There's movie stars we can talk about. Robert Downey Jr., one of my personal favorites. Everyone wrote him off, and now he's the number one guy. You had this amazing run before, and then you shared a little bit that there was some turbulence recently that you mentioned yourself, room, lawyers, government, right? Mm-hmm. What did that teach you, man? The people watching this, someone was having a difficulty, either recovering from a stroke, drug addiction, wife left them, bankruptcy, government, losing job, AI taking over. What'd you learn, man?
I think it goes back to the idea of not getting too high on your highs and not getting too low on your lows. Having an anchor where somehow, some way you're getting perspective. Like for me, it's the Armenian genocide on one side of the tree, and then it's the Holocaust on the other side of the tree. It's understanding that we're here today. We're on borrowed time, and keep this even keel, right? Like so, and you're right. One day and we see it all the time in the celebrity world. One day someone's loved and adored and all of this stuff, and then the next day it's like they're the most evil, vile person on the planet. And for me, I learned one thing. At the end of the day, it's you. Like you've got to have you. And I shared it earlier, but it's like when it gets really turbulent and really painful and really tough, a lot of people don't even have the resources to help you anyway. So it is going to fall on you, and you have to be strong enough to be able to weather a storm or the storm. And also just not to, everything that happens to us, I believe, is there to build our character, our resilience, and it's the story, man, right? Like there's no, like all the statues built around Europe, it's like people overcame crazy challenges and obstacles. All the greatest coaches had ups and downs. All the greatest, Tony Robbins had he's been in the media years ago about some different things.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Grants in lawsuits every day.
All the time. Patrick David.
And Malet had some health scares.
Yes. God bless Ed.
Recently. I mean, it's like, everyone's had ups and downs. Like if you're scared to have the ups and the down, like you're going to get both.
You get both.
Athletes as well. I mean, Tom Brady, all these Super Bowls, and then like the wife slept with the ninja instructor, and that's everywhere, and he gets roasted and he's like, okay, I'm here. But you keep moving forward.
Keep
moving forward, right? Even if you got to send a big fat wire to the government and be able to walk away, you send the wire, you go home, you make scrambled eggs, you go downstairs and do cardio, you get in the sauna, and you're like, did I die?
No.
I didn't die. I'm here. I'm still in America. Yeah. It's still free-ish. I can still do what I need to do. And now you just get more charged up, more motivated, more inspired to keep going. But at this point, and I'll say this also, like the hate doesn't really. I've been getting shit and hate my whole career, right? Just like anyone that's done anything of any merit value. Like whether you're LeBron, whether you're Tom Brady, whether you're Drake, like Drake's new album, oh, he's the worst. It's like, dude, he's like, bro, I think whatever you want, like that's why it's so important for me to hold my morals and standards and integrity. Because at the end of the day, no matter what some YouTuber or some Instagram ding dong says about me, it's like, as long as I know these things are false, I don't care. God, I sleep really well at night. So.
Yeah, I mean, there is some crap about you these days in YouTube.
Yeah, there is.
And I watch it, and I'm like, and I'm from the sales world, but I did real estate. I did most of my life was sales. And these claims, even Patrick David, very similar background, right? The network marketing platform, right? He had insurance.
Yep.
He sold his company. You had yours. I have a med spa. I could do that same thing with my med spa. I recruit this person, and it's what bothers me. And I'm gonna touch on that. We can wrap up after that. Is that you get mad because you didn't put the hard work in, and you're getting mad at me. I was a team leader, real estate company. I was a partner real estate company. I used to recruit agents to come on board.
Yeah.
And only 20% would truly make a difference, where 80% weren't.
Yep.
And those 80% will get mad in the day. Well, you promised me leads, you promised me mentoring, and I did. I do everything, but at the end of the day, it's on you. And I think that's a big issue. And what happens, these channels, no names, and one of them is talking about me right now. I'll talk about it after the fact. They come on and say, oh, this guy is wrong. Patrick's wrong. Act's wrong. And I think it's a crock of shit.
Well, it is, one.
Right.
And I'm not going to say everything was perfect, because there was definitely some people doing things that they either shouldn't have been saying, shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you have a team of 700,000 people,
Homie,
you're going to have a couple bad apples going
happen.
on. But yeah, apparently in America, if you're wealthy and successful, you're now a fraudster, you're a scammer. Like I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like every industry, in my opinion, doesn't mean it's, in my professional opinion, has people that succeed and others that quote unquote fail. But failure in network marketing, just so we're all clear, is you quit. You quit. You stopped. You gave up. And for the last 7-8 years, like if I'm talking to you about a network marketing opportunity, I am telling you, listen, just so you know, this is not a get rich quick thing. It is substantial time, effort, and energy and sacrifice. And if you're not going to commit 18 months to learning the skills you need to do this, don't waste your time doing it, man. Insurance is the same type of thing. My parents had a life insurance agency. My dad would say 10% of the people wrote all the policies. These big real estate teams, 10% of the agents, it's 5% or 10% of the agents make 95%
100%.
of all the damn
100%.
commissions. Ryan Serhant and Chad Carroll and Josh Altman sell all the houses.
100%.
You got a lot of real estate agents that can't buy a gallon of milk with their real estate commissions. Is real estate a scam? Now, I do believe and I do know that companies need to be pitched a compliant way.
Yes.
And that is why now, man, anything I do in network marketing, it is like disclaimer, it is disclosure. Do you know how many times I say, no income claims, no lifestyle claims, results are not typical. My success is not typical, okay? But again, in anything out there that you dive into that has to do with sales, leadership, and it's commissions, like you're not getting paid per hour, okay? There's a high churn. There's a high attrition. There's a high failure rate, AKA people quit, and that's okay. But to demonize the entire sales world and team building world and leadership world, that's insane. And I'm going to be very careful what I'm saying right now, because I did learn some very valuable lessons, and there are some things that will never come out of my mouth again. But to demonize an entire industry is just completely asinine. It's like, dude, there's so many freaking problems going on in this country. Like I drove here, right? You know how many homeless people I saw on the street? Like we can't figure out a way to help more people. Like single moms have to work 15 jobs to take care of their little kid. Like there's, but we'll go fund. I got to be careful. We're not going to go, we'll fund this though.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll spend
Sure.
billions, tens of billions of dollars to go do that.
Sure.
But we're not going to do this. It's like, to me, it's just the whole, just a very like quick little 30-second tangent.
Go for it.
The whole system's corrupt. It's all bullshit. It's all a scam. We've been lied to about everything. It's like I learned something new every day about what I was lied to. Like it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And again, I'm going to force myself to move my head from this microphone in a second. But did we not just find out all of these people were doing all of these horrific, horrendous things to children, and no one's been arrested?
Not one person.
And you want to get mad about that? It's like I'm done with that. But like, man, good God. Like I wake up sometimes and it's like, some of my friends are like, I think Alex is going crazy. Yes. And if you had awareness, you would be going crazy too. So.
Wow, man.
We'll go maybe like in 18 months. I'll go deep. We go deeper down that hole, but I need to be like out of the country.
Let's do that.
Not be in the country when I talk about those
probably
things.
A better idea, man. You're doing you're on a new tour. The new album tour, as they say in the music world. We won't get too much into it, but the future looks bright.
Yes.
You're working hard.
Yes.
Right? You're back at it. Being an amazing leader, being an amazing fucking speaker that you are.
I appreciate it.
You going to travel a little bit soon?
Yeah, so I'm in Vegas, potentially Phoenix and LA for some podcasts. So I'm finally saying yes to more podcasts now. I didn't say yes for a very long time.
I know, buddy. I've been after you.
And now I'm doing more because I feel it again. You know, I feel it again. I feel charged up again. I feel like, you know, I'm going to run through the wall one more time in a major, major way. Right. Yeah. And then I'm going to be, I think, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Dubai over summer, and then back here for the fall. So yeah, we're working hard. You know, it's direct sales, it's, you know, mentorship and consulting, and then, you know, some other things that I'm exploring as well. I'm really into health, you know, so I'm looking at some health stuff too because
health wellness. It's
booming.
Booming.
And man, if you can profit by helping people on their health,
why not?
I mean, wow, right? Wow.
My idea for you, this is just my little gift, and you're probably going to do it as it is. I see you, my brother, doing your own self-development / consulting without anything else. You're in your people.
Yeah.
And I will probably pay whatever to come into that and learn. I think that you can provide a lot of value. And I hope, inshallah, I'm praying to the higher power that one day that will come.
It will. It will. Because it has to, right?
It has to.
It has to. I mean, my mentor, that is what he did, and that's his legacy, and it's passed on through me. It's passed on through you. It's passed on through all these other amazing people. So at some point, that will be it will be, you know, sales leadership with an emphasis on network marketing, kind of like Eric Worre does. Mm-hmm. And my results are, you know, I'm not going to talk about them, but one day they'll be public and everyone can look at them, right? So obviously I know what I'm talking about there. And then personal development, like you said. I mean, it's so important, and I feel like there's just not, I don't know. The industry is crazy, man. It's like when I talk to people, like on the golf course, and they say, "What do you do?" And I say, you know, I could say a bunch of different answers, right? But I'll always ask the two questions because I'm intrigued by it. I'll be like, "You know who Bob Proctor is?" 1 out of 10 know Bob.
If that.
Do you know Tony Robbins? Oh, yeah.
I heard of him.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, it's kind of like that for young people. I just say that.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it too. Like I get charged up. Like it's never work for me. Like when I'm talking to a group Monday morning, a roofing company. One of my buddies who was a part of my first network marketing company runs a massively successful roofing company. So I get on there for 30 minutes and I teach and then I do Q&A. Like that, to me, that's fun. Like I enjoy that. Like if I say one thing and one guy takes it and runs and he can build a great life for him and his family, I'm like, man, this is freaking awesome, man. This is awesome. So I love it. I love it. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it at this point.
That's amazing, man. Well, listen, man, it's been an amazing hour. I think you're probably one of the first ones at this comeback podcast. I haven't seen you on the.
No, this is the first one, man.
I feel honored. You have been so nice to me. Every time I DM you, you message me back. You communicate as busy as you have been. You know, man, again, I want to keep repeating myself, brother. You have impacted my life in so many ways. Like my wife, when I say you're coming, she's like, yeah, go. You should go now. And she knows that she was right next to me. And she knows the fact that the respect I have for the Vic Tipnis, the Patricks, the Alex Mortons, you know, the Tony Robbins, you know, and he's like, what's that thing in DC, the Mount
Rushmore?
Rushmore. My man, for me, the Mount Rushmore should be your face of self-development. And I say that with looking at you in your eye to eye. Like if I were to design that, Tony Robbins, you'd be the second person right next to him, man. Yeah, because you're doing an amazing job.
I appreciate it, man.
You know,
I do. And I'm proud of you for your growth and your development and your successes and the family. And it's just, you're a great example.
Thank you.
For people to tap into.
It means a lot to me. And once again, my wife's message for you to have babies as soon as possible.
We'll get started right now.
She said your life a chance. My job to tell you that from her behind. Okay. Inshallah, man. Thank you so much for coming on board. Where can we find you, my man?
Instagram, Alex Morton Mindset. YouTube, Alex Morton. But mostly is Instagram. I'm turning it back up now. Like I posted now the last 3 days. So I'm gonna start posting every single day. And just get back out there again, you know, because it's like, again, why not? You know, it'd be boring to retire and do what? Sit on the beach and drink margaritas and get fat? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more to do, a lot more people to impact. And it's fun, man. It's fun. I enjoy it. So I appreciate you.
Let's get it, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Of course.
Appreciate you.